Hello, America. It's me again. Sorry about all these intrusions, but my computer, like I said, my computer's over there, and I'm over here just because it makes for a better backdrop, I guess. This time I want to touch off on NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. Hey, I'm all for trade, but there should be no such thing as free trade in this country. There's a reason why America has a deficit with a lot of nations around the globe as far as trade, why we sell so much to them, which a lot of times doesn't even hit American shores because we direct market. And American towels are apparently too big for Japanese ears, whatever that means, because they can't fit them in their little tiny ears. It was really said. The Japanese government, I'm going to take this moment to remind you that the Japanese government, and a lot of corporate leaders said Americans were just too stupid to work in Japanese-based factories. With that having been said, I'm going to move on, because here's my call out to the scientists, more to astronomers. We need some triangulation done. I know a lot of you guys get free time concerning what you're going to do with your study time once you get your hands on a telescope, and not meant to terrify America, but the next pass of the Hale-Bopp comet, which is coming up very shortly, might be the reason for underground tunneling. We need to find out what's going on with this, point blank, because apparently it's going to come closer to this planet than ever. As far as other astronomers are concerned, I want to know why we're sending weapons-grade plutonium to Saturn. They say it's a fuel cell. Somehow I doubt it. It's my contention that we're actually trying to send bombs to Saturn. Point unknown. I don't know if they're trying to create a new sun, because we know Saturn is a primarily gaseous planet, and most of those gases are flammable. So whatever fire they're trying to create, I'm not sure what. As far as bases on other planets, I'd have to see it. You'd have to give me the show me, and it's not a matter of what they're going to doctor up on images. This is something I'd have to see with my own eyes. I believe that the moon is a relatively safe planet to travel to, or even Mars for that matter, because they don't have the storms. They'll have a lot of other problems going on with those with those two planets. Lack of oxygen is a biggie. I want to give the call out to the medical community, because I want to know what happened to the cure for cancer. They said they had it, and then someone else said, "Oh no, we don't have it," simply because there's no money in the cure. That's one thing medical companies have learned, is we can treat you for years and years and years, and guess what? We'll never find a cure because we're making so many millions, we can't stand it. And they say that, well, that money, we lose a ton of money in research and development, and I don't understand why your R&D, maybe we can get a little bit of the money out of oil exploration, since they get so much money, and they say this is a pioneering field. It hasn't been oil exploration has not been a pioneering field in a very long time. It's a science now. They know exactly how to read geological survey in order to find oil. They go right to its sources. And speaking of oil, Alaska, backing this program, gets these oil fields. So I'm going to go off on an oil and energy tangent right now, so be ready. There was a generator created, a 5 kilowatt generator that runs on water. We need to find out why these aren't being implemented. An entire house can be ran on one of these generators. There's not a whole lot to them. They're not terribly complex. The other is hydrogen fuel. Say, oh, well, we're using hydrogen fuel. Well, apparently there's a separator that's been created. The gentleman who created it passed away. Imagine that. Just like I've pointed out before, the conspiracy theories abound. A lot of people say he was assassinated. Other people say he was beat up. Some people say he was poisoned. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever that point is, or wherever that goes, or whatever happened with that, we need to bring that back. I believe it's in a White House vault somewhere, or in a Pentagon vault, because when he was asked to go show it to members of the Pentagon, they were fascinated by his research. And in order to keep oil companies appeased, yes, we can make an oil-water hybrid. It's not really necessary, but hey, you know what? You can sell half the amount of fuel, and we can save half of the globe at the same time. We need to find out where these went. They keep suppressing this because, these major corporations turn around and they say, oh, well, it's not really practical, and why would you ever want something like that anyway? So that having been said, moving on and creating watchdog groups. There's a lot of celebrity out there with a lot of money who can create these groups, and I know there's so much corruption inside a lot of these groups that you really can't get the point across anyway. So it's pretty sad when Americans, when we're supposed to be citizens, need watchdog groups to watch our watchdog groups. So everyone sort of knows where that's at. We keep hearing things going on. I want to go to the Denver International Airport issue. I've been to the international airport on a couple of occasions. I've seen the paintings that they put up there. I actually went back out there just to walk around and take a second look. I don't see where the lead-in is for 8 levels of airport. I know there's 5 levels of parking. So if anyone has any information concerning this, you can email me directly right through this video web, or someone I can contact that was actually at the construction site that was actually 8 levels down, and they're going to tell you it's sewer and piping, but apparently there's an intricate series of networks up underneath the airport. And if what I suspect might be true about that airport, and it is an alien visitation point, those underground trains that we take to our concourses, there's a whole lot more to it than that, and they go a lot further than what they show us, which means things that get out of the way in order to show us, they go underground. We pass through concourse A, B, and C, and of course the primary building itself, which is just absolutely architecturally beautiful. It's breathtaking. It actually sort of looks like a bunch of tents sitting out in the middle of a field. So initially I thought it was a little bizarre, but for architecture, it's a crazy great design, and those big slopes are needed as a result of the deep snows that we get here, and I understand that. So I guess the only thing left is I want to come back to Diebold. Diebold, ESS, and all these other voting groups. We need to come up with some type of regulating for these companies. Apparently there was a $16,000 contribution made by the Republican Party to Diebold, and it's been documented. They actually have it in print. A check was accepted from you. So the question segues to, why in the world would you ever accept money from the Republican Party and not report it? This has to be an infraction. There has to be a law having been broken there somewhere. So if you're breaking the law and you know what's going on, you need to come forward. Because when America has finally said its last piece, there's a good chance that you're going to be in a lot of trouble for it, and we're going to make sure that you're made to stand trial for it. Because it's the people's choice, and our freedoms are being taken away. So if you're working to take away our freedoms, the first thing we're going to try to do is work hard to take away your freedoms, which means you're going to have to stand trial. And the buzz that's going to come about from it, who knows? The final thing I want to talk on is, well, there's a couple of them. I'm not going to say final because I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to give up until my message is heard somewhere. Fact of the matter is the North American Free Trade Agreement. Great idea. Love trade. We're going to come back to that. The North American Union, like the European Union, they want to combine Mexico, the United States, and Canada into one nation. So basically, they want to turn the 5 continents into 5 unions, and then eventually there will be one ruler for all of them. It'll probably be long after I'm dead, and hopefully not, because part of what makes the United States great is our uniqueness. This is not a global economy. This is our economy. This is the economy of the United States, and we need to protect it. It's not sanctimonious. It's not written in stone. Most of the world understands business now. They finally began to understand the United States, which is why they're beginning to buy us up one piece at a time. As soon as they get done crashing money, they're going to say, you know what, it doesn't really matter. Well, in my opinion, here's your solution. Hey, America, let's just file for bankruptcy. Let's change the bankruptcy rules back to the way they used to be, where America just files for bankruptcy, and we start out with a new white slate. Just like it used to be. In this country, you got a chance to get a second start and change things and do it the right way this time. And if you didn't do it the right way the second time, well, you're just an ass, and you probably shouldn't be allowed to have money anyway. But that was part of what made this country great, was the ability to be able to wipe the slate clean and start again. A more responsible spending nation. We still are the greatest power in the country, and our military doesn't predicate that. It's our people. Our people are some of the greatest people in the world, because the people in this